Good morning, everybody here. Clean off my mic sock here. If you're watching this as a rerun, you can skip ahead to 14 minutes. Just getting things ready to go. Getting geared up. Yeah. Let's see here. Morning, Waylon. Sham-a-llama ding dong. Let's see what the old ivermectin has today. I should probably change my syringe needle and syringe. 5 years. Mike Wagner filling in for Todd the Radio God. Huh? The Magic Mike Wagner. Well, let's see here. I think I got everything ready to go. Dave, Minnesota man, how's it going today? Thanks for tuning in. Only took 4 years for you to man up and take it straight. That's true. That is true. Morning, Josh. Well, let's see. Morning, Mr. Bulgy. Karen, good morning. Thanks for being there again on a Saturday morning. I called it yesterday. I've just called it off. I'm sitting there cutting in 30-mile-an-hour wind, and the grass hay is so short at my place that 90% of it is getting blown out of the swather header. And I'm putting up less than a half a bale an acre, and I just said, you know what? Done. So I quit. My haying is done. Hopefully the neighbor's millet will amount to something, and I can get some stuff out of there, but I called it. There, I'm putting my math together this morning in at a half a bale an acre. It's cost me about $250 a ton to put up some of this stuff, so I can buy hay cheaper than that, so the heck with it. All right, is Tom an attorney or just fishing? I'm not sure. He said he's going to be on Lake Erie, so or one of those lakes up there. So let me see what his text said. Oops. Where is it? There it is. He says he'll be on the water on Lake Erie in New York. So hopefully I'll have signal. So let's hope that he does. And I can get in touch with him there. One shot cap, good morning. Dan, good morning. So there you have it. See what this does. Trying to get my clock on my computer to show like an old school clock instead of digital. I don't know how to do that. It does not give me the option to go to a face clock. All right. What do you do? So yeah, I don't know if he's in the tournament or not there, Jesse. I think he's just fishing. I think. Could be. I just hope he has good enough cell service. Cellular game camera suggestions. Whatever the one I bought works really good. Morning, Mundo. Are you doing the Cowboy Hall of Fame golf tournament again with your entourage? I gotta figure out which one I have there, Jesse. I know I got the app on here somewhere. Command Pro. Stealth Cam Command Pro. Bam. Yep. It cost me $8 a month to have I think it's unlimited photos. So use that one. Master John, good morning. I did not get any extra replies. Of course, I haven't went in that show and looked at them either. And I didn't get any notifications. So not sure. Yeah. I think it's some type of a like regulator, governor type of situation, but you said they must change that, so there you go. All right, stations 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 8 Central. And that is on Mark. Figure out a donation for putting putting contest pretty soon. Oh, yeah. Mr. Cox, good morning. Yeah, we need to do that. All right. I need to call Mr. Huynh. Hopefully this goes through. It's true. It's loud in the old eardrums.
Hello?
Tom Huynh?
Yes.
Scott Bachmeyer, how are you?
Good, Scott. How are you doing?
I'm good here. We got about 6 minutes before we start the actual radio show, but I am live on my YouTube channel right now, so.
Okay.
So we just sit and BS until we get to that point.
Sounds good.
Are you in a tournament today?
I'm not in a tournament today, no.
Okay.
I'm pre-fishing for the National Walleye Tour event out of Dunkirk, New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I appreciate you making time here for me today.
No problem. No problem. Yeah, it was quite the drive out here.
Yeah.
Road construction, 75% of the way, I'd
say. What did 94 all the way out?
90. So 90. Okay. 94 to 90, and then all the way over here.
Yeah. Yeah, 'tis the season for construction, I guess, but
yep.
See that
get it. It'll be good when it's done.
What you need to do is have a sponsor boat in New York, different quadrants of the United States, so you can just fly and hook up and go.
Heck yes. That'd be a nice deal right there. Yeah, find a driver.
Yeah. Yeah, get a driver and show up. Yeah, let's see. And we got the old Sturgis bike rally going on in South Dakota, so there's plenty of road construction that they're going around and buzzing around different areas now too.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they got hailed last night. They got hailed pretty good down in the hills.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, next fishing tournament here is out that way, and then besides the Dakota Walleye Classic, which other ones have you won this year?
One?
Yeah.
None.
Okay.
None. I've had I've had a solid season, but no wins this year. My last win was the championship on the NWT last year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good deal.
Yeah.
So when you do these other tournaments, do you have is there partners like at the Dakota Walleye Classic, or?
It's not a team, it's a pro-co event. So you're randomly paired with somebody each day of the tournament.
Okay.
Yep.
I was going to say, how hard is it to find partners all the time going around? But if you're already listed with somebody, I can see that.
Yeah. So the tournament meeting, the day before tournament, we're randomly paired with somebody, and then the next day, we got somebody different. So yeah, it's
not bad.
No, not bad at all.
Good format,
pretty
I
easy.
guess. Yeah.
Yep. Keeps basically they're co-anglers, or either they fish with us to learn, and then also they're basically our marshals, make sure that no cheating, no anything like that, so it's a pretty decent deal.
Yeah. It'd be fun to get in a tournament like that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, anytime. And that's the thing about the NWT, anybody can jump into them. So, yeah.
That the circuit you hit mostly is the NWT?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I fished AIM for a few years, and me and my team partner there did well, and we haven't fished AIM now for about 2 years, I think. But yeah, now it's just the National Walleye Tour.
How do you like the AIM tournaments? The fish, weigh them and release, or take a picture?
I like
release.
it.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I like it. I think it's just fine. Just catch, photo, release style, and get those fish back in the water as soon as possible. And I don't know. I like that format. It's interesting. But there's always something to be said for bringing a fish on stage to weigh too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, as long as we. It's too bad that like this year at the Dakota Walleye Classic, having somebody possibly cheat. That's too bad. Once you get money involved in things, it seems like you're going to have somebody checking on everybody here. We're about 30 seconds away here from the start of the show here, Tom. So I'm going to turn you down. Do a little countdown here for the stations. So stand by here. Oh, we have a break at 15 after and 30 after. So just a heads up, if I cut you off or anything for a break, we got to hit those stations. 15 seconds to go. 15 seconds on mark. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition, as we are on a beautiful Saturday morning across the Dakota Territory on radio stations like KGFX in Pierre, South Dakota, KOLY, Mobridge, South Dakota, celebrating 100 years in Bismarck on the air, K-Fire 550, and in Minot, KCJB, along with the Western Edge, KLTC, and 106.9. Good to have you along here this morning, all across the Dakota Territory and around the world on my YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. This morning, we are talking with Mr. Tom Huynh, professional angler, last year's winner of the NWT, this year and last year's winner of the Dakota Walleye Classic. Good morning, Tom. How are you this morning?
I'm doing just fine. How are you?
It's a great morning in the Dakota Territory. I tell you, when you can wake up and live where I live in the Badlands here and look out my window and know that the technology, thanks to our rural electrics and rural cooperatives for our telco-based companies, I can do my radio show right here from the ranch. That's what's nice about this. That's a beautiful
awesome.
morning to wake up to.
Yes, I agree. That would be nice.
So you right now, this year's a back-to-back champion at the Dakota Walleye Classic, which where I met you last weekend, actually, up in the Beulah Bay area, and you're currently sitting on Lake Erie. Am I correct on that?
Yeah,
pre-fishing?
out on the New York side, all the way up, pretty much all the way clear to the east side of Lake Erie. Pre-fishing for the NWT that's next week.
Next week. How often do you pre-fish? I mean, is it like a week-long thing that you go out and do some pre-fishing?
This one is going to be 6 days, which is my longest pre-fish of the year. I like to go like 4 or 5 days prior. Typically, some of my competitors, some of the guys come out a week, even 10 days prior. But I number one, I don't know that's expensive. number two, number two, I mean, it gives the conditions too much time to change. You
Yeah.
might find something in the first couple of days and get too reliant on that, and conditions can change quick. So, yeah, I like my preferred is like 5 days or so.
So when you pre-fish, are you just going in and trying to spot those big fish and putting waypoints down? Or I mean, do the big fish usually stay kind of in the same area once you find them?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I'll start my pre-fish just looking at key areas, travel areas that I like to find and intercept these bigger fish. I mean, there's days though I'll go without even seeing one. People think just with forward facing sonar and stuff, and we're out here seeing all these giants at all times. It's not the case. But when I do see one, when I do catch one, I will waypoint it, and then at the end of my pre-fishing, I'll look back at my waypoints to see where the highest concentration might be stacked up, and just focus on that for the tournament.
Is that what you did for the Dakota Walleye Classic as well?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I went out there and looked for big marks. And the day before the tournament, didn't even really. We only made a few casts, just looking at these big fish. And out there at the Dakota Walleye Classic on Lake Sakakawea, there's a lot of walleyes in that system, a ton of them, and some really good sized ones. The problem is they're so full right now from all the bait and stuff that's in the system that it's hard to get them to bite.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things everybody was running against. Is it wasn't easy fishing, that's for darn sure. But it seemed though that there was more bigger fish than the previous year. It seemed like the weights were a lot higher on average.
Yeah, the weights are higher because so last year when we won with 51 pounds. This year was 61.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's 10 pound difference. But again, the fish were noticeably heavier. They same lengths, but they just had big bellies on them this time with all that smelt, and there's a big time bug catch happening as well. So they were just very noticeably fatter this year than last year.
So, so we'll get into more electronics and everything, but forward-facing sonar, some people call it live scope, right? That seems to be the big thing right now, right?
Yep.
How can you tell a bigger walleye on your screen? I mean, does it make it that much of a difference in the mark and how that shows up on your screen from
Definitely.
it's a
Yeah.
lot bigger one, huh? Okay.
Yeah. So like for example, on my screen, I keep my grid pattern on my screen, and the grid pattern is typically in 5 foot increments, so it's 60-inch increments. So if you have a fish that is coming into view and it turns just the right way and it takes up half that grid, it's around a 30-incher, right? So that's how some of us, we put the time on the water and studied it. And it's what I'm teaching now in my university, is like teaching people how to dictate the size when they're out there, whether they're out there with their families looking for a bunch of eaters for their fish fry for the weekend, or out there trying their hand at a tournament. So there is ways, just time on the water, and me teaching people how to do it now, just to shorten that learning curve.
Tell us a little bit about your university. You can find it at Tom Huynh University of Wynn, spelled Huynh. And
Yep.
tell us a little bit about the university, what you go through, because you can see all the courses here on the webpage. Tell us a little bit
hmm
about that.
Yeah, so I got the idea. A friend of mine, was her and her husband were looking to learn live scope, and on the water training, there's just only so much you can learn. Believe it or not, like there's people who, in the past couple of years, when I've had a really good run since 2020. And there's people who say, Tom, I'll pay $1,000. I'll pay $2,000 for a day on the water just to see what you're looking at. And I've never taken one of those trips, but when I take family or friends out and we can spend a whole entire week out there straight, right? Like when family comes to visit and stuff, they can't retain what they've seen because everything to me up there is just so automatic. There's just so many subtle nuances. It's not just about going in, putting your transducer in the water and casting at fish. Not even close. You have to there's so many little things. And so, this person and her husband, we got together and decided we're going to create a curriculum-based university so that we can teach people on a level that has never been done before in the fishing industry. This is the only fishing curriculum anywhere, and it's based after continuing education, the same format that you would see if somebody did continuing education at Harvard, actually. And so it's in a format where people can retain what they see, retain what I'm teaching them. And it's just so cool because we released it last September. We're in 40 some states now. We're in just shy of 20 countries, and the response has been awesome. And it's nothing like anything that's been out there. And just to get people to, message me saying, hey, I took the kids out. We caught our first limit of walleyes ever, and we've been fishing for 20 years. Yeah. Or some of the tournament guys, like, Tom, I've been fishing with my dad these tournaments forever, and we've just been donators. This year we cracked the top 5. It just, to see that just makes it completely worth it, and so, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can find that at Tom Huynh University. Again, you can check it out online. Tom, we're up against our first break here, so stay with me here as we go through a 5-minute break. Stations, we're going to be back here with Tom Huynh, professional angler here. He's out on Lake Erie as we speak here, getting ready and pre-fishing for a big tournament over in that New York side of things. We'll be back with more right here on Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio.
Join Piper's Auctioneers for these upcoming equipment auctions throughout the region, featuring these excellent retirement auctions in Albany, Minnesota, and Sherwood and Mapleton, North Dakota, and Baker, Montana. Piper's will also be hosting our regional equipment auctions in Bowman, Steele, and Sioux Falls. These auctions are loaded with Tier 1 farm and construction equipment and offer something for everyone. Full details, updated inventory, and online bidding is available at Pifers.com. Pifers, celebrating 25 years of proven results.
I'm Dale Paulke with Dakota Community Bank and Trust, where local banking is as comfortable as your favorite pair of work boots. Step into our branches and experience a friendly atmosphere, personalized service, and financial expertise. Whether you're a hardworking farmer, a small business owner, or a local resident, we've got the banking solutions that you need. So kick off your boots and let us take care of your financial needs at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, BowmanLivestockMarketing.com. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. There's a reason you're seeing more Red Angus cattle in the country. Great mama cows, high weaning weights, and easy keepers. With a family that bases their entire operation on faith, honesty, and trust. You can see those values in their 30-plus years in the Red Angus breed. Schriefer Red Angus, the breed that generates a positive return on investment. SchrieferRedAngus.com. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals. Just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger. This portion of the program is brought to you by Freedom Repair. Whether it's a tractor, baler, your cutter, your combine, or air seeder, Freedom Repair comes to you and helps you get fixed up and back in the field. 19 plus years experience. Give Lucas Kelly a call at 701-440-1945. That's 701-440-1945. Freedom Repair, veteran-owned and operated. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
I'm Dale Paulke with Dakota Community Bank and Trust, where local banking is as comfortable as your favorite pair of work boots. Step into our branches and experience a friendly atmosphere, personalized service, and financial expertise. Whether you're a hardworking farmer, a small business owner, or a local resident, we've got the banking solutions that you need. So kick off your boots and let us take care of your financial needs at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes,
Welcome back, everybody. It's Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition all across the Dakota Territory, around the world, too. Don't forget about the Dakota Territory Gun Collectors Gun Show coming up September 13 and 14 at the Event Center, Main Street, Mobridge, South Dakota. It's only $10 entry fee, but that gets you in on a chance to win a Henry lever-action rifle. Again, the Gun Show coming up in Mobridge, September 13 and 14. For more information, get a hold of the mayor himself. Tom Wynn, professional angler, is with me here today. And he's pre-fishing for the tournament, NWT tournament over in the New York side of things. And I got a question from a listener. He says, how do the New York area walleye compare to the Midwest? Are they bigger, darker, lighter? Is there any difference in the taste of them? And how about catching them? Is it different than doing it out here in the Midwest?
It is, well, okay, I'm out here on Lake Erie now. So Lake Erie, I don't know if there's another body of water when it comes to walleyes, anything like it,
Really?
So yeah, and I don't think there's anything like it. There is, you can get on a school of walleyes out here that is 2 miles long by 1 mile wide.
Wow.
And so, when you're talking that you don't see that anywhere else. But as far as catching them, actually, I am going to be able to catch them here like I did at Sakakawea last week. And as far as the way they look, they are, pretty much the same coloration. You've got clear water out here, but then on the western side of Erie, when you can get some of that dirtier water coming through, they're more like that Sakakawea type look or Devil's Lake type look out there. Yeah, but no, very, very similar.
How about size-wise? Pretty similar in that too?
Yeah, there's just so many here. it's like you get on these schools and, in a tournament, for example, you're looking for big ones, but you have to get your bait through the school of small ones to get to that big one. Sometimes that's hard. It sounds like a tough problem to have, right? But, but out here it's just a whole different thing. So, but size wise, they're pretty much the same, especially when they're, pre-spawns, they're so fat. And right now out here in Erie, I'm seeing a ton of bait. I don't know if it's smelt or what they have out here, but they're fat like they are back home.
Yeah. Another question comes in, says, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen fishing these big tournaments? You can either good or bad. What's the craziest stuff that you've ever come across?
Well, speaking of Lake Erie, last year in April we had a tournament out of Port Clinton, Ohio, which is on the other side of Erie. And it was an April tournament, or one of the first one of the year, I believe, last year. And it's real windy. Waves are pretty crazy, and it's kind of chilly out. I'm in a couple layers, and I have my rain gear on, keeping warm, fishing out there in the tournament. And my co-angler in the back again. My co-anglers I just meet the day before, the night before. I don't know who I'm paired with each day. My co-angler goes, Tom, it's sure it's a little bit cold out here, and the wind's blowing, and I have a hood on. So he goes, Tom, it's kind of cold out here to be out here with no clothes on. I'm like, what? Did he say what I just think he said? and I turned around, put my hood down. I'm like, what? And he just points and he nods right in front of me. And so since I'm live scoping and my head's down looking at my screen the whole time, he nods ahead of me and kind of nods, didn't say anything. And I look ahead of me, and literally about 50 yards in front of me, there's three gentlemen trolling, and one of them is completely butt naked in the rain, in the wind. So if you want to know the craziest thing I've seen, that's probably up there.
I'd say so.
So yeah,
were these guys in the tournament too, or what?
No,
okay, just out fishing.
They weren't.
For fun. Okay.
Yeah, they were just out fishing. So I don't know if he lost a bet or what happened there, but
or how big a cooler of beer they had in their boat and at that time. Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't have to wonder which way the wind was blowing that day. Oh my.
Well, we're going to open up the phone lines here shortly too here, but when it comes to forward-facing sonar, how do you, like we were telling, this is my first year playing with it here, and how do you get them to bite? I mean, how long do you work on one fish? Because if first and foremost, let's tell people what forward-facing sonar is before we get going. What's the best way that you can explain it?
So forward-facing sonar is a live view of the underwater situation around your boat. And usually, it's pointing forward, not just forward of your boat, but forward of wherever you're pointing it, so you can point it to the back of your boat if you want to. But it's a live, real-time sonar. So you can see what's happening right now in real time versus like your traditional 2D or side scan. That's something you've already passed. So basically that's what it is. So you can see a fish swimming in real time. You can see weeds, you can see rocks and bait. You can learn the ecology of a system way faster now. And with forward facing sonar, it's not all about catching fish. Like we're learning things about walleyes and other species, which is flipping what we thought we knew completely upside down. But as far as how you stay on a fish or how long I stay on a fish, if I find a fish that I want, let's just say I am fishing a tournament and I find a fish that I really want to catch, I'll cast my confidence bait, which typically is some sort of finesse bait, whether it's live bait or plastics on a jig, and I'll cast it out. And as long as that fish shows reaction and shows positive reaction, but even if it doesn't want to bite, I'll stay on that fish. Mm-hmm. I'll stay on, I'll cast again until that fish completely ignores my bait or until it just swims off irritated. But I will stay on that fish until it quits showing reaction. And I might follow it up with a reactionary style bait. I've been playing around with some reactionary style baits to try to find one that works flawless. I shouldn't say flawlessly, but works better than anything that's out there on the market right now. So I'll throw finesse first. If they don't want to eat it, I'll throw something out and pop it over its head and see if they want something reaction.
And do you ever get one of them that just gets, irritated enough just to bite it just out of spite?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that there are times when you can see their reaction. It does look like they're like, okay, I've had enough of you.
Another question comes in and says, is it possible to have too dirty of water that forward-facing sonar won't work in?
No.
Because it's all sonar. It doesn't matter how dirty it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. So don't listen to, there's a lot of YouTube channels out there trying to teach people forward-facing sonar, and they'll say this is a setting for dirty water. This is a setting for clean water. This is a setting for morning, night, daytime. No, it's too confusing for people, and I think that's where the intimidation is. People go out there fishing, and let's just say the water's a little murky one day, and they put it on a setting that they learned from a YouTuber. The next day they go out, and the water's cleared up a little bit, and they forgot to adjust their settings, and they're like, shoot, that's why I'm not seeing fish. No, it's not. That's why it's just too much intimidation with all the settings in these electronics. That's why I've taught people there's one setting to use, and you can literally use that from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. Doesn't matter the depth, the water clarity, the water temperature, time of day, anything. One setting, set them and forget it. And all you listeners out there, just remember that. Don't just you can just set them, forget them, and go fishing.
Set it and forget it, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and that makes it a lot easier because then you're not sitting there playing with electronics. You're actually out fishing a little bit more.
100%, and you're not questioning yourself. So let's just say you go out and it's clear water. You catch a limit of fish that day. The next day you go to the same spot, same water conditions, even clear water, and you're not seeing any fish. And you're like, what's going on here? Then you're like, oh, it's a little bit cloudier today. Maybe that's why. Maybe there's a different setting. No, that's not the case. The fish just moved. They're not there. You're not seeing them. So that's what I mean. Just learn the right settings, leave them, and you're good.
Well, I tell you what, we're up against another break here, Tom. I want to open up the phone lines so people can call in. You can also text me, 701-425-6651. I'm live chatting on my YouTube channel, but we can open the phone lines for the second half of the program. That number is going to be 888-932-5682. It's a toll-free number. It's 888-9-DAKOTA is the number if you'd like to call in and get some professional advice from a professional angler. Tom Huynh is my guest. I'm Scott Bachmeyer. We'll be back with more Dakota Prairie Outdoors radio all across the Dakota Territory right here on your local station.
Join Piper's Auctioneers for these upcoming equipment auctions throughout the region, featuring these excellent retirement auctions in Albany, Minnesota, and Sherwood and Mapleton, North Dakota, and Baker, Montana. Piper's will also be hosting our regional equipment auctions in Bowman, Steele, and Sioux Falls. These auctions are loaded with Tier 1 farm and construction equipment and offer something for everyone. Full details, updated inventory, and online bidding is available at Pifers.com. Pifers, celebrating 25 years of proven results.
I'm Dale Paulke with Dakota Community Bank and Trust, where local banking is as comfortable as your favorite pair of work boots. Step into our branches and experience a friendly atmosphere, personalized service, and financial expertise. Whether you're a hardworking farmer, a small business owner, or a local resident, we've got the banking solutions that you need. So kick off your boots and let us take care of your financial needs at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Moat Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. There's a reason you're seeing more Red Angus cattle in the country. Great mama cows, high weaning weights, and easy keepers. With a family that bases their entire operation on faith, honesty, and trust. You can see those values in their 30-plus years in the Red Angus breed. Schriefer Red Angus, the breed that generates a positive return on investment. SchrieferRedAngus.com. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals. Just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger. This portion of the program is brought to you by Freedom Repair. Whether it's your tractor, baler, your cutter, your combine, or air seeder, Freedom Repair comes to you and helps you get fixed up and back in the field. 19 plus years experience. Give Lucas Kelly a call at 701-440-1945. That's 701-440-1945. Freedom Repair, veteran-owned and operated. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
I'm Dale Paulke with Dakota Community Bank and Trust, where local banking is as comfortable as your favorite pair of work boots. Step into our branches and experience a friendly atmosphere, personalized service, and financial expertise. Whether you're a hardworking farmer, a small business owner, or a local resident, we've got the banking solutions that you need. So kick off your boots and let us take care of your financial needs at Dakota Community Bank and Trust.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes,
Welcome back, everybody. It is Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. Good to have you along here. And we're going to open our phone lines up. 888-932-5682 is the number. That's 888-9-DAKOTA. It is a toll-free number here, and we're speaking with Tom Huynh. Professional angler is my guest here today. Welcome back here, Tom. He's actually pre-fishing Lake Erie right now. Are you ready for some questions there, Tom?
I'm always ready.
All right, let's go. Let's go to the phone line here. It says Fowler on here. Welcome to the program. You're on with Tom Huynh. What's your first name?
Terry.
Hey, Terry. You have any questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, I sure do. I have limited experience with live scoping, and I was wondering what Tom's opinion was about the fish, the sonar spooking the fish. I've heard people say they shut them off, so the sonar does not spook the fish, and it sounds like to me they do not do that, but I was just wondering what his opinion was.
Yeah, it's a really good question. So I have been doing this, probably one of the first, if not the first, to use forward-facing sonar the way it's being utilized today. And in open water, I have yet to see a walleye be spooked from the sonar pinging. Because in open water, I believe that you have the waves, you have the wave action on the boat, you have the wind noise up the top, you have the boat noise from motors and things like that reverberating through the water. I think that pinging really gets muffled in open water. Now, under the ice, I could probably see it. Now, I'm not a hardcore ice angler by any means, but that pinging like, let's just say you have your forward-facing sonar transducer on in your garage. You can hear it, right? You can hear the clicking, 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 and then so under the ice, I could probably see where fish would shy away from it because you have the hard canopy of ice. Under the ice is just super silent down there, and all they can hear, there's no wind noise, no wave noise, and they can hear that. And I have experienced at one time where some fish came in and they kind of just hung out at that 45, 50 foot mark and didn't come any closer. And I've heard a lot of reports from it on the ice, but in open water, I have personally yet to see that, and I've been all over the place and shined my live scope on a lot of fish.
Yeah, I've heard both ways, and I appreciate your answer. And that was what I was just wondering for your opinion. So thank you.
If you're out there on open water, don't shut that sucker off. Use it.
Terry, thanks for the
All
call,
right.
Terry. Appreciate it.
Terry.
You bet. 888-932-5682 is the number here. Let's go to Jesse, my fishing partner here. Jesse, you're on with Tom Huynh.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Jesse.
Thanks for coming on the show. It's great information. You're one that's willing to share it. Everybody says that fishermen, you ask them where they caught the fish, and they're fishing in Lake Erie, and they'll tell you Lake Sakakawea because they don't want you to know. But it's a great thing to come on and share.
Oh, yeah.
I would second, I guess, I don't know what walleye can and cannot hear, but as someone that has done a little bit of scuba diving, when you're under the water 20 to 80 feet, you can hear things from a long, long, long ways away. Water is such a good conductor of sound, so I'd second your thoughts anyhow on the whether they're getting spooked or not. But I want to go back to a comment that you made on the pre-show. You're out there doing the PWT right now, and I didn't know this, that you as a pro angler get assigned a different fisherman to be with you as your co-angler every day. That's interesting. I did not know that was the case. With the situation we had out here in North Dakota last week, which you're aware of, there was a potential cheating thing going on, and they're still kind of looking at it. But that's a very interesting way to put different people in different boats, and maybe that's something these tournaments could go to. Whether it's Scott and I want to fish together. We're partners. That's the one time for sure that we get to hang out and fish, but it just takes a lot of extra people. But maybe a third person in the boat as a not just a marshal, but a third angler as a co-angler to the teams. That's an interesting theory that I've never really heard happened in tournaments. So tell us a little more about that and any problems or things that you got into with the different guys that have or ladies that have ended up in your boat at these PWT events.
No, I haven't had any issues or problems with it at all. And there's some of us pro anglers who think that we should get rid of the co-angler situation because with forward-facing sonar, they feel that the co-angler isn't much help anyway. They're just sitting in the back not doing anything. Because back in, when all of us were trolling, there was enough for two people to do. But as far as keeping the checks and balances, the main reasoning for me, and I'm for co-anglers because if I was in the position of wanting to learn from some of the best, I mean, even if you're not casting a line, you can see how these anglers are targeting fish, looking for fish, what their cadences are, what they're looking at on their electronics, and so that's number one. But number two is to act kind of like a marshal in the boat to make sure that there's no funny business going on. And so I like that aspect of it too. It keeps people straight, and because there's a lot of money on the line, and a lot of us are driving many hours, taking away time from our families, our businesses, things like that to do this. And if you got somebody out there bending the rules, it's not good. So I do like the idea. And in team events, it's just a shame anyway. Like, it's a shame that, there's people out there thinking of this, like injecting fish with water. I mean, who thinks of something like that? But it's a shame that it's come to that, and we have to police that and monitor that going forward. But maybe it won't be easy to find a marshal for 190 boats in the Dakota Walleye Classic. You know what I mean? But if there's some sort of incentive, or
Right.
hey, you get to jump in
Have
and
you
learn.
have you ever had one of your co-anglers that was with you that was, let's say, really bad at netting fish, and you just pray to God you didn't get paired up with them again?
I haven't had that yet. I have not, but I hear stories
I'm sure.
from other anglers, and but no, I always give my co-anglers a chance to cast a fish, net fish, and if they prove to be less adept to getting those things done, then maybe not. but so far so good for me.
Good. Well, again, I appreciate you coming on the show, and I'll listen to the rest of the callers. I'm sure there's some more waiting on the line. So
Awesome.
We will see you next year at the Classic if I don't run into you before then.
All right. Appreciate it.
Phone number is 888-932-5682. That's 888-932-5682. Another question comes in on a live chat here. It says, how does Lake Sakakawea rank on walleye lakes that you fish?
It's in my top 2 or 3.
Really?
It is.
Okay.
Yep. Love that place. It's not easy to catch fish. I'll give it that. Up on the Van Hook arm, though, if anybody's listening to this that is familiar with Van Hook, that up there's easier for me to catch fish. Historically, from what people say, the bigger fish are up there for tournaments and stuff like that, but I have to disagree with that as far as the big fish go.
Really?
I think the big fish are scattered east, and they're fewer and far between, the big ones, but they're big. And the ones up in Sakakawea are just easier to catch if somebody's looking to go out and have a good time. Those shorelines in Sakakawea, take your forward-facing sonar, go up into those little bays in Van Hook arm, and go search those weed edges. Absolutely full of walleyes up there in the weeds and Van Hook.
You were talking forward-facing sonar, and being one person's looking at that, and your forward-facing sonar, I'm guessing, is on your trolling motor. So you're following along with the second person in your fishing boat.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything they can do? I mean, can they try to cast, or do you run a bouncer, or what else do you do besides that? I mean, how do you set up with another extra person in your boat?
So there's different ways. Like my boat is equipped. If the lake or river is conducive for it, I have a spot at the console where I can put a second live scope where they can help me search.
Okay.
They can search out to the side, and if they see something, they can call it to my attention, or they can make a cast to it. Or good example is last year, Mississippi River, pool 3 and pool 4. My co-angler out-caught me big time, which I'm super happy for, because I ended up with the top 10 because of my co-angler. And I'm the first to give him credit. Like, I don't care. He caught the fish. I'm happy. But we were up in the weeds, and it was windy, and he was casting out the back. No electronics, just casting out the back, and he was using some baits, or a bait that I thought would work based on what I was seeing with forward-facing sonar. And sure enough, he caught 4 big fish. I caught 1 small one, and we had a really, really good day. But yeah, co-anglers can definitely keep busy casting.
So what are you using for bait and casting jigs?
For jigs, I'm using
whatever you're using. Tell us exactly what your what's your preference, I guess.
Yeah, no, everybody that follows me pretty much knows that I'm using a black Northland tungsten jig, and it is, I like black first and foremost, that color, and then my second go-to is black and gold, and then that green olive color that kind of blends in with weeds. So that Northland tungsten jig is just, tungsten is 30% more dense than lead, so every little subtle bite, every little thing that jig hits, you can feel it with the right rod and reel line setup. So yeah, there's no secret. The black tungsten jig from Northland.
Live bait or plastics?
Plastics, both. So I will always alternate, give them kind of a 1-2 punch. That, like in a team tournament, I'll throw one or the other, and my partner will throw the other. The opposite bait, or vice versa. And same with NWT. I'll keep both rigged up, because there's times when it's weird that fish won't even eat live bait, but the curiosity hasn't peaked when you throw a plastic in there. Just out of curiosity, sometimes they bite it.
Are you using as live bait goes, crawlers or creek chubs, or what's your
Craw-
take on that?
So crawlers most of the time, I think, sometimes leeches, but then also Kakawea, I had creek chubs as a backup.
Okay.
You know, this year though, I only caught one on a creek chub in the tournament.
The rest are all plastics?
Plastics and reactionary style bait.
Okay.
Yep.
It's interesting, you know, with what's the next, you and I discussed this during one of the break. What's the next electronic? What's it going to be? I mean, forward facing sonar has kind of taken over right now. And what's the magic 8 ball say in your mind? What's going to be the next big thing?
Yeah, that's the hard part. Is like, how can you? It's hard to imagine what can be next, but you know something's coming. I mean, you know something's out there. As far as updates to actual forward-facing sonar itself, I was told that within the next year or so, anyway, there's nothing new from Garmin as far as forward-facing sonar transducers, but it has to be something within the system if they're going to do anything, like some sort of software update or something to coordinate with their existing hardware where you get better clarity maybe or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm excited to see what's next, really.
Therein lies the question too now is a lot of these tournaments that a guy goes into, and used to be, you know, everybody was just pulling bouncers for the most part, or cranking, right? Now everybody's getting rid of that and getting rid of the cranks. Kurt Schrader told me, he's like, he says, I got a whole bunch of cranking equipment you can have. He says, I don't want to use it anymore. Is it getting to the point where if you don't have the money to buy forward facing sonar that you don't have a chance at a lot of these tournaments now?
In tournaments, you need to get on board with forward facing sonar. It just the way it is, unless you start a league that doesn't allow it or something like that. But technology is here to stay. It was here to stay when GPS first came out, you know, and you can mark a waypoint instead of triangulating from the house on the shoreline, you know. But it is, and as far as the money goes, I mean, prices, you know, they're coming down already, things like that. And when I got my first forward-facing sonar in 2019, I didn't have money. I didn't. I just like, okay, I want to fish and I want to see what this is all about. And you know, I finally took some time off work. I was like, okay, I'm gonna spoil myself a little bit, and then just so happened to be, you know, one of the first to dial it in, luckily.
Yeah.
But
how long have you been at this kind of on the professional side, competition side of things?
Full time, just since 2021.
Since 2021. What set you apart? I mean, what do you credit making you climb the ranks so quickly?
Not knowing anything about fishing.
Really?
Zero. I didn't know anything about fishing. I knew nobody who fished. My parents didn't. We fished off the pond banks, you know what I mean, like in Arkansas. But I didn't know anybody in the fishing industry, not a person, and I just wanted to fish. I bought a little boat and decided, okay, I'm gonna do this. And then forward-facing sonar just happened to be in my boat, and I had no preconceived notions, no history. And I just went out there and utilized the electronics to this fullest extent, and that's why I'm here. And you know, I had a heckler, if you want to call him that, and a seminar in Bismarck, and he goes, "Oh, you never would have cashed a check in any of these tournaments if it wasn't for this cheater box," is what he calls it.
Cheater box.
And yeah, that's what he called the life scope. And I and the crowd, you know, it was like 100 some people in there, and I just kind of shrugged my shoulders, and then I was like, so. Like,
yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
I'm not making any excuses. I owe it all to learning forward-facing sonar. I can't owe it to forward-facing sonar, but owing it to actually taking the time to learn it.
Right, actually understanding it a little bit better.
Yes.
And there's a lot more to it than just moving the camera around and it's like, okay, well, there's a fish, it's going to bite. There's way more to it than that.
Oh, 100%. And a lot of the haters of it, you know, too, they have it. They have it on their boats. A ton of the boats on the Dakota Walleye Classic had it. but it's about going out there and utilizing it and learning it. And then people say, "Oh, it makes it too easy." If it's that easy, come out here and beat me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I want. I honestly want people to come out and beat me because that means they're learning it.
Competition spurs better
Yes,
competition.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. A question comes in and says, "What do you have to do to keep a pro status?"
Pay your entry fees.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So there's two ways I look at being labeled a pro. You can pay your entry fee and fish on the pro level. That automatically makes you a pro in that sense. But a professional to me is somebody who is professional in all aspects. And and it could be, just giving back to the community, working with kids groups, getting kids out on the water fishing, veterans, wheelchairs and walleyes. That's a huge one to me out in the Beulah, Hazen area, North Dakota, Sakakawea area. Wheelchairs and walleyes is huge to me. And then, representing your sponsors. It's not so much you can't just put a logo on your shirt and be expected to get paid. It is over a full-time job for me now.
Yeah.
And which I love it, but it takes time. It takes time. It takes a lot of time and education. Teach somebody something. You can't be entertaining. You have to go out there and teach somebody. Don't lie to anybody, and that's what's going to make you a professional.
Where can people find information here? We're up against, you got about 30 seconds or so. Where can they find more information and find your university?
So it's online at www.fishthu.com. And if you have any questions for me or just want to see what I'm up to on a day-to-day basis, it's Facebook and Instagram at Tom Huynh Fishing.
It's easy as that here. And honestly, folks, if you never met Tom, like Jesse said too, he's one of those guys that he'll give you the information and like you said, you have no secrets. So I appreciate that. Thanks for making time here to come on to the program. I really do appreciate it, Tom. Thank you.
Thanks to you guys, and thanks to all the listeners.
All right. I tell you what, you can find a run of this show if you want more information and want to watch it, or if you tuned in a little bit late, you can find it at Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio on YouTube. Tom Huynh, thank you so much for being on the program, and get out and enjoy the rest of your summer here. Make sure to eat some meat, drink some milk, wear fur and wool, and have yourself a good time. Oh, and don't forget about the gun show coming up in Mobert, September 13th and 14th, Main Street at the Event Center. That is going to be a good one, and get in on the rifle drawing as well. Have yourself a great weekend, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. All right, stations, thank you, guys. Tom, we are still on YouTube, but we are clear from the radio stations at this point.
Perfect.
So thank you, man. I know you're busy and you got pre-fishing going on, so I'll let you get going. And one guy says he needs to put forward-facing sonar on his kayak. Now you got him interested in it. So there you go.
Hey, people are doing it.
Hey, you have yourself a good one. Good luck on the tournament. This next one coming up here for you.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good one. See ya.
Yep. Bye.
All righty. Well, folks, there it is. I got a funeral to get to later on today, but I think I'm going to go out and do the rest of my bailing and call it good for haying season 2025. You guys have a good day.